In this video, we are going to be going over item searching in ThunderPOS for Windows. If you're interested in seeing this on the back office, then I suggest checking out the back office specific videos. We're going to flip over to our machine here and log in. We're going to just go ahead and open up a register here. And if we go to our items screen, you'll see that we have an inventory setup here, that we already have a number of items in here. This is kind of a fake database, so some of the quantities and prices will not make sense. But to search, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. The quickest is using what we refer to as the quick search. That's this little text box here directly below the grid and above the buttons. In this box you can search. Each space will split words. So it's going to search for exact matches for the item ID 1, 2, or 3, for the name, for the description 2, and manufacturer. For all of these text fields, it's going to look for contains. So, and then for department ID, category ID, it's going to look for an exact match again. So for example, if we search for 02 advance, this item right here should show up on the list because it's department 02 and it has advance in the description. And it's in fact the only result there. You can also search for a phrase here. For example, if we search for water 4, we find multiple results here. So we find 2 copies of this, one of which is in a different department, which is why it didn't show in that other search. And then we get Land Before Time, Big Water Adventure. And the why it's showing on the 4 is FOR is in the before here. So if we want to actually narrow this down, we can actually include it in quotes. So we could say water 4 in quotes, and that's going to look for a phrase. So this is like a pretty quick way to search. A very common one here is like for a record store, if you search for the artist and then a title, which that particular one is not in there. We'll just see what's in here. So if we do, this looks like it's kind of a combination of records and games. But yeah, so if we do stones and then loose, which you can see we've got a description of loose here and a name of with stones. So that's one way to search. And then if you want to add it to the invoice, you just hit select, or you can edit it, or whatever you need to do. Another way to search, if you're looking for something more specifically, you just go to search in the bottom left, and this is the advanced search. And you can search based on a number of different things here, but you're going to search based on specific fields. So you can specifically look for things with a title or a description rather than searching both. Additionally, you can select your vendor, department, category. If you leave them blank, it won't search by those. You can search for items with a particular attribute if you're using the item options feature. You can search for items with particular title tracks. Or track titles if you are importing, the tracks from Discogs or from AAC Enhanced, or if you're adding them manually. You can also filter based on your stock level, so you can look for things that are in stock or out of stock. You can look based on new or used or both. You can search for items in a specific street date range, which usually would be used for searching for upcoming releases or recent releases, either way. You can search specifically for items based on their sales activity and items that are considered idle that have not been active recently. And you can also show, only active items and your pre-orders. Beyond that, you can also sort the search based on, which you can't do with the quick search. It's going to be just sorted as it is. But for an advanced search, you can change what way it's sorted in, and you can set it to the name, the item ID, the last date sold, the department ID, the description, the new price, or the used price. In addition to all of that, If you set up a search here, you can actually save a default search, which will be what the search screen will show the first time you go into the item search. By default, that is simply a blank search, so it'll show everything in your inventory other than rental copies. If you want to clear out a search and reset to default, you just hit clear search. But otherwise, for example, let's search based on, items that are in stock, new and used, and with a street date this year, which there may not be very many. I'm not totally sure for this search if we'll have any results. Yeah, so we can see we actually do have a number of variants and that kind of thing, and test fields that we've set up that are, if we edit one of these, we can see that we've got a street date back in April, and we have it in stock, both new and used. Again, if you want to select any items off your search to add to the register, to the current invoice, just hit select here. In order for that to show, you do have to have the register open when you go into the item screen. If you open the register after, just go back to store and then items to have it show up. Hopefully this will help out with searching items in ThunderPOS. If you have any other questions beyond that, you can feel free to contact support. You can also take a look at our other videos for things such as adding and editing items. Thank you.